we are actually done with Stardust Crusaders over on Twitch and Patreon, because obviously, early access. And it's time for me to revisit this tier list that I made, which was specifically for Stardust Crusaders Part 1. When Core Un ended, and we were about to arrive in Egypt, and Iggy isn't here just yet, right? The last one that we fought was... Who was it? Was it this thing? It was basically, we were like underwater, right? And we ended up beating another woman. And Polnareff checked to see if she was actually ugly or not. And apparently she was kind of hot and we just walked away, right? Yeah, the Priestess one, right? So that was like this tier list. Now, I think it'd be redundant and also kind of like, I don't really remember too much about these random bullshit from a while ago. So let's just check the overall tier list of part 1 to see if it makes sense. And then build upon part 2, because that's where the main meat's at. And apparently, I actually forgot to rank somebody here. One of the stand or characters here apparently were, yeah, this one right here, right? So who the fuck is this? Also, this right here. Do you guys recognize these characters? So this one was the one that Polnareff was fighting, right? Alone. This is one of the first, like, Polnareff Bizarre Adventure. Yeah. What about this dude, though? Is this the stand user? And this is the stand, right? I think it's the same right here, right? This is the guy that was found in the toilet. Honestly, he's trash. Like, this dude literally just hid in the fucking toilet and lost. It's just like, he kind of looks cool. But if you really think about that character, like, do you really have that fond memories? Like, I don't really think so, right? I'm gonna put him in trash. Because I feel like even, like, Empress actually did something, you know? And these two, this stand was... Honestly, it's better in this stand, right? Like, it's definitely better in this stand. Was this stand better than, like, who is this? This is like, I think, you know, deep blue shit, right? This is like one of the first things. I will say, yeah, the storyboarding did go crazy. So in the episode, there was like a scene where this little voodoo puppet is traversing Polnareff's body. It's actually one of the craziest cuts. Now, just because the key animation in that scene was cool doesn't mean that, like, oh my god, the stand was amazing. But I would probably put it here somewhere. Is it better than her? Now, she really ended up to being just one of the most useless characters, huh? What the fuck was Anne at the end of the day? She just kind of like fell in love with Jotaro. She was lying about, you know, like her goals, and she showed up again and she just kind of fucked off after the car episode, right? But I'd probably put this thing here just for the content, I guess. Fuck it, we're gonna put it here. And some of these characters, I'm gonna have to put them down. Let's just like reset some of these characters, okay? And there's a reason. I just want to have like a, because like these are some of the peak characters. I'm sure they're just gonna go back into peak, right? But let's just put some of these characters back just for just reset. I don't think we need to do anything with the Kakyoin for sure. Kakyoin and Silver, sorry, called Hierophant Green, Joseph, right? Hermit Purple. These dudes also, I think they're great. The Sun, I ranked it in great though. That's kind of crazy, huh? The Sun was a menacing stand. The Sun user was a joke, but that Sun, I think, did put in a lot of fucking work. And it was kind of terrifying, so I think I put it up there, but I'm fine with that. The rest of the characters, I think they actually were that great. All right, let's go in. First of all, should we have a tier between great and peak? Maybe great is enough. Because I want to rate one of the most impactful like characters. And I think that like Darby deserves to go in peak. What other tiers are there? I think this was Darby's stand, right? Like genuinely, Darby the Gambler was an unreal arc. It was not like a battle arc, but it was still so fucking epic. Why? Because it was a battle of mind games and a test of resolve. If you acknowledge that you lost, your soul would disappear. That was very core to JoJo's. At the end of the day, a soul is a representation, a manifestation of one's willpower, right? One stand is a representation of one's soul, but it's like this, oh, do you believe you can win or not? Who believes in it more? And he was so fast with the sleight of hand. He was a cheater, but he was really good at it. He defeated Joseph in a game of trickery when Joseph was cheating. Jotaro did end up defeating Darby as an amateur, you know, But even then, Jotaro is just that fucking good. It also could be hinted that Jotaro's first time using time stop powers, right, were like through basically, like when there's like a lot of scenes where Jotaro, like Star Platinum brings him like a cigarette or a drink. I think it's just the speed. I don't think he's actually using like his time stop powers, but still kind of fun to think of it like that. And on top of that, Darby didn't care about Dio. And I loved it because he was like, fuck Dio and his goals. I have one purpose and it's to be the best gambler ever. And something about that just felt so fucking base. Darby the Gambler, absolutely an elite villain. Let's look at Darby the Gamer. Where is he? So, in my opinion, Darby the Gamer was honestly not that compelling. Would I put him below Enya? Maybe I'm not respecting Enya enough, but the more I think about Darby the Gamer, what pissed me off is how much he kept saying that he's better than his bro, how he's different, but he actually wasn't really different. He was just a cheater at the end of the day too. I don't know, and the overall presentation of that episode, like that arc, it definitely fell short. That's why I have kind of like a bad image of him. But he's still better than like this. For sure he is. Whole Horse is really ranked low here, huh? Maybe I'll have to also revisit Whole Horse. I'll put him down here for a bit. But I just think about Darby the Gamer. I feel like Enya did more. Did I enjoy the baby more than Darby the Gamer? I think I did. Does he even belong in Great? He low-key might be here, along with this stand. Now, these stands are pretty crazy. Like, they can actually interact with souls. It's an insane concept. But the more I think about Darby the Gamer, wasn't really it. And it's also funny because of the lack of seriousness compared to what Avdol, you know, Iggy and Polnareff were going through. While we were busy playing video games, man, shit was popping off. Let's revisit Whole Horse. Whole Horse also doesn't have a head here. So I put Emperor in mid before because I feel like the Emperor was low-key fraudulent. But you know what? After reflecting back on it, it is a pretty cool stand. It's a gun, and it's really fucking fast to the point that it challenges, you know, Polnareff's Silver Chariot, which is kind of crazy. Whole Horse, the more I think about it, the more fraudulent he was. But he did outspeed Polnareff. He almost got Polnareff, I guess. He came back multiple times. He kept surviving. His feats are not too bad. It's just that I feel like he was so overglazed that he didn't get raised to meet my expectations. Is Whole Horse better than Darby the Gamer though? I think I enjoyed him more. He was goofy. He was fun. He met his end through a really tragic end. Honestly, he didn't deserve to lose at the end. Because I feel like he played everything right. It's just that his clock was wrong. What an unfortunate mistake and an unfortunate character. Whole Horse, you're alright. Unduel. I think Unduel deserves to be here minimum. Minimum. He low-key should be peak. Here's why. Unduel was one of the first, you know, villains that we fought immediately in Core 2, and his presence was very menacing. He was a blind person who relied on hearing vibrations. The water, you know, kept attacking. And his loyalty towards Dio at the end, that final, like, stand versus Jotaro, that was epic. Bro decided to kill himself because that was better than snitching. The more I think about Unduel, the more I want to put him up here. I actually think that Unduel is such a fucking cool character. And again, just like how Darby was talking shit saying, fuck Dio, I only care about gambling. Unduel was really cool in the same way he was like, you know what, my life or Dio no matter what. It's not like if someone glazes or hates Dio, I like them more. It's again about their willpower and their resolve and what they're about and how dedicated they are. And Unduel, I think, deserves it. His water stand too. I think it's this. Should it be in peak? Loki was a crazy power. I kind of want to just pair the stand together with the user right now, so I'll just put them up here for now. Next up. Oingo Boingo Brothers. So, Oingo and Boingo. Right? And what is even Oingo's stand here? It should be just his face. Yet I don't really see Oingo stand here. Do you guys see it? Because like it was basically his skin, right? So I guess this is like, oops, sorry. I guess this is like 2 in 1. Oingo, I would place him. Where did they go? He's over here. Oingo, I would. I definitely like Boing. I like Boingo more. But Boingo also got fucked up by Iggy at the end. That was kind of funny. The brothers, I think lower. They're like here. They're like here. Now the book though, right? The book is kind of cracked. The book, I will put it like somewhere here. This is a prophetic book. It's actually kind of a crazy power. It's always, the predictions are always true. Yes, hi. Remember how Boingo would always say that? But yeah, I'll put it up there. And the brothers, I think that Boingo was better than Oingo. All right. All right, the baddie. The baddie! It was a 2v1. Led to some very fun content. A lot of fan service. A lot of some crazy definitely a memorable episode. Minimum good, if not great. I would probably place her down here. Like, I think the baby was still more funny to me. And I respect Enya a lot for her crazy shenanigans. I think she should be here. Would I rate her over Whole Horse? I think I would. She had us a lot. Like, it depends on like how fun she was to me. What did she deliver? What was her like? How useful was she for entertainment? And she was very entertaining. All right, we're getting to some last hitters right here. Okay, let's see. So let's pair up Pet Shop like that. This is Anubis with, where's the Anubis's user though? Does anyone see it? I was hoping Chaka would be here, but Chaka's actually not here. Do you guys see it? No stand user here, huh? No stand user here. Hold on, let me just like put these two together. Alessi was with this guy right here, right? Dio obviously with Zawarudo. Vanilla Ice with this. Yeah. Silver Chariot. Polnareff. Hierophant Green with Kakyoin. Alright. Trash. Absolute fucking trash. Now, it's not like the stand is bad. The stand is pretty cool. In the way that it's like, how to describe it? Like, you can't just jump over it. If it makes contact with your shadow, you're done and it like de-ages you. That concept is kind of crazy. And if I'm gonna rate it like, it's like here. I put Tower Gray up because Tower Gray was fast as fuck for no reason. I put it like here or something. The reason this is up here again is it's just for the content, right? It's fun content. Now this, was it fun content with Alessi? It was honestly frustrating, if anything. I fucking hated this character and how creepy he was and how his only redeeming quality was, it wasn't even redeeming. He just was a piece of shit that was so scared that he couldn't fight properly unless it was a child specifically. Him beating the fuck out of kids in the beginning was kind of funny for a bit, but honestly, what a fucked up character he was. I hated him. I hate that arc. Anubis. Minimum grade. And if I'm gonna be thinking about like, again, is Anubis like, I think Anubis should go up here. Cause like Anubis doesn't really have a stand user. But that, dude, Anubis arc was fucking hype. Chaka as the sword user in the beginning was so unreal hype because he gained so much confidence and aura out of nowhere. And this showdown with Polnareff, that was amazing. The barbershop, less so. And then he lost a lot of aura, right? He did. He fell off really hard, but still, he was really fucking hype in the beginning. I kind of put Undul and these guys kind of in the same spot here. I think they deserve it up here. Just because Chaka delivered. The more I think about Jay Guile, He's trash, but the Hanged Man was kind of fucking hype. Really hype. I'd put the Hanged Man here too, actually. I kind of like the sword more, but the Hanged Man is really fucking cool. Alright. Pet Shop next? No, hold up. Who is this? This is Kenny G? Okay. So, this is gonna be interesting because I thought for a bit. I really thought about this, okay? This comment actually changed my mind. Kenny G always gets downplayed too much. Dude is literally the only reason why the Crusaders are forced to split in the first place. And you know what? You're right. Because like if you think about it, what happened in the beginning? We opened Dio's mansion door. And then fucking Darby the Gamer shows up floating. And then we got separated through a portal. And that does create an insane setup. And not only the portal, Kenny G was behind the illusions of this never-ending corridor that scared like Avdol and everybody. Kenny G himself was trash, but that stand power and his utility, his contributions are kind of fucking crazy the more I thought about it. So while yes, it is ridiculous that this character just had no fucking voice lines. I mean, he kind of did actually in one of those flashbacks with Nukisaku, and Nukisaku, he's not even here by the way, which is funny. I feel like Kenny G should be at least mid. But more than that, Kenny G, I'll put him above Tower of Grey. How about that? Old Man's kind of getting mogged right now. Maybe here. Old Man was kind of hyped with the speed, and he was for the love of the game too. He just was literally just like a serial terrorist, not really because of Dio's whims. I'll put Kenny G right up here. Now, unfortunately, Senator Wilson Phillips is not here, huh? Wilson Phillips. So you know what? Let's put him up. Senator Wilson Phillips. Let's see. What's some nice pictures I can see? Hold on, I'm gonna upload them to the tier list right here. This one will do. Save image as. Yeah. And now bring it here. Senator Wilson. Ah, damn it. His face is cut off. Hold up. Let me see if I can use this one instead. He deserves one. I think he actually did deserve something. He was actually really fucking hype. Alright. How about this? Maybe this one's too big. Alright, it's not working. Alright, this is Kenny G. No, sorry, this is Wilson Phillips. Whatever. Wilson Phillips. I respect him more than Whole Horse. I'll tell you that much. I genuinely respect Wilson Phillips more than Whole Horse. He had aura. He had conviction. He paid more taxes than any of you fucking bums. He has a villa in Hawaii. He was the captain of the wrestling club. He was fucking supermodels 25 years younger than him. And he was gonna be the future fucking senator, bro. He's gonna be the fucking prime minister. He's gonna be the president, bro. Senator Wilson Phillips' ambitions could not be quenched. Alright, he paid a lot of taxes. I want you to remember this. Definitely more than Mariah Carey. More than Enya? Nah, fuck it, bro. Put him up here. Top of grade. I'm wilding out. He's honestly a meme pick. But Senator Phillips genuinely was so fucking hype and entertaining. Like, I loved him. I genuinely loved Senator Phillips for what he was. Here's another picture. Let's see if I can... There's so many Senator Phillips like Wilson. Like, he's a character where Araki sometimes just like comes out of nowhere and just drops a character out of fucking nowhere. It's actually crazy. Like, this dude had no setup. Like, nothing. And he showed up and he delivered content. And I respect him for that. So Senator Phillips, this is a recency bias, but even then, fuck it. To the top of grade. Just put him up there, bro. Pet Shop, peak. Above Anubis. And I'm gonna put Pet Shop right up there together. This was a crazy fucking aura farmer. Like, unreal aura farming. Dio's actual mascot. This dude, and his powers, the icicles. Every time he's stunting on you with that fucking look, it was so epic. And also Iggy's first fight. I think Pet Shop was actually such an epic character. And truly, the final guardian of Dio's mansion. Loved him. The bird was so hype. And now? Oh wait, we're not done. Vanilla Ice? To the top. I am kind of conflicted. Vanilla Ice and Darby the Gamer. If I were to think about memorable stand fights, Vanilla Ice is absolutely up there. Obviously Dio too, but we're talking about his employees right now. My favorite, like these are really my favorite like Dio's employees. Straight up, this top list here, like Enya didn't make the cut. She was kind of more silly, if anything, right? But like, these are genuinely, I think, the most epic aura farmers, fucking hype. Every one of them has so much going on for them, and they were entertaining. Honestly, it's a coin toss between these two. It really is. But I'll just put Vanilla Ice up here because of how much he changed the game. He showed up out of nowhere and showed the most glaze I've ever seen. He actually made Undul look like a casual. He kills himself immediately in front of Dio at a whim when he's not even a vampire. Dio resurrects him, and now he's ready to go. He pulls up and kills Abdul immediately. It's kind of fun to imagine that he wrote the writing on the wall. Also, Abdul's death was the writing was in the wall. That's actually crazy. You know, there's like a phrase for that. The writing's in the wall, as in like it's already there. It's crazy. When you read this and you turn around, you will die. And it fucking happened. His powers were terrifying. He created such a threat and scaled the difficulty level and like the overall tension. Like, he made part 3, like, he's what like launched off the iconic moments of part 3. Do you know what I'm saying? Up until that part, it doesn't feel that dire. It doesn't feel that important. Of course, there are scenes again, like this, like this, like this, that it felt like, oh shit, we're in trouble. But Vanilla Ice truly cranked up something else. It's like, oh shit, we went from like a 6 out of 10 to a 12 out of 10 in terms of seriousness. I loved him. He was epic. I hate what he did to Abdul, yet he still was such a compelling villain. And the way that like he got rage baited by Polnareff because of his love for Dio, god damn, he was the #1 glazer. Vanilla Ice was fucking epic. And it was always so funny to see him come out of the fursuit. Remember the fursuit, bro? Actually crazy. Now, it's time. First up, Iggy. This is tricky because like I feel like Iggy, I actually loved Iggy so much. Iggy had a proud soul. Vanilla Ice said that a dog cannot be proud, that a dog cannot have a soul, but that a stand is the manifestation of one's soul. This cowardly dog who always fought for his own self-interest sacrifices himself in the last moment and saves Polnareff, and he smirks and dies. Iggy's character development was actually unreal. And it's really fucked if you think about this character and how he was robbed from his bitches. He had a harem. He was chasing tail. Speedwagon Foundation captures him. They send him to Egypt without his consent. And Jotaro of all people was actually one of the few people that actually understood and empathized with him. Jotaro and Iggy actually had a close bond. Iggy fights Pet Shop. What an epic fight. Defeats Pet Shop, loses an arm, still goes into the mansion, barely fucking healed, fights against Vanilla Ice, gets fucked up, but had such an amazing sacrifice. Iggy the GOAT. I love him. Polnareff and Silver Chariot, bro. What a godlike character. You know what? I might make a separate tier later on and ascend some of these characters because I feel like there's too many peak right now. But let's just stack up the peaks right now because these characters truly are peak. Polnareff, Silver Chariot, actual main character. They call it Polnareff Bizarre Adventure for a reason. This character is unreal. He is a goofball. He is a romantist. He is an avenger. When he first showed up and fought against Avdol, it was so cool. When Avdol threw the dagger at him and he said, here, kill yourself. And while he was still controlled by Dio, he did the righteous thing, which was so compelling. Avdol saved him. He did the pose and says, the man with the two right hands, he's what took my sister. What an epic side quest for Core 1. Polnareff and his toilets. Polnareff and always surviving while his friends die. It's the curse and a blessing. What a character. Jean-Pierre Polnareff in Silver Chariot. So fucking epic. Remember, he surpassed the speed of light. He apparently surpassed the speed of light, which is fucking crazy. It did happen though. And the crazier thing is, after Polnareff surpassed the speed of light versus the fight against the Hangman and Jay Guile, somehow these motherfuckers surpassed Polnareff's speed. I just need to remember that, okay? I just need to remember that. Joseph Joestar. I probably rate him. I mean, if I'm gonna place the main character, like the protagonist together, I probably would rate him in the lowest of the Crusaders. Let me just do this right now, actually. Because every character will be in peak tier or above, okay? Hold up, let me just do this. Oh. I'm gonna do this. Peak. Delete the row. The Crusaders truly are all fucking peak like that. I just want to separate them in the category here. If I were to rate Joseph Joestar though, I think he would be my least favorite Stardust Crusader by relativeness. Doesn't mean he's a bad character. It's just that this isn't really his part to stand out. He already had his part. It was part 2. And he surpassed a being that was stronger than Dio, to be honest. Joseph was more in the background supporting utility. I love that he actually got a little bit in when, against W the Gamer. As well as the fact that he came up with some tricky things with, Hamon again versus Dio. And he was able to relay the message from Kakyoin's sacrifice and figure out what the power is. But the more I think about the other Crusaders, I think they were more memorable. And again, it's by design. This is not Joseph's part to shine. He's here for the next generation to highlight them. And I think Joseph was a fine character. Noriaki Kakyoin. I'd probably place him below Iggy. I did enjoy Iggy more than Kakyoin, but I think Kakyoin is definitely better than Joseph Joestar. Noriki Kakyoin was one of the first villains that we fought, right? And he possessed people with Hierophant Green, and he was like painting people. That was crazy. He was painting Jotaro. And we thought that his powers might be with a paintbrush. Every time he painted something, something got cut not. That was just him aura farming with the fucking painting canvas. This character started up being a hater and turned into a MILF hunter. Cared about our mom, Holly, the most maybe. Every scene, we have to be worried because Kakyoin is going to be looting Holly. Kakyoin was also very smart. Versus the baby stand, he figured it out by himself. Jotaro also had a lot of belief and confidence in Kakyoin, and I feel like Kakyoin really bonded with Jotaro like that. And in terms of bonding, what happened? Remember when the narrator is talking about when Dio killed Kakyoin, and Kakyoin's thinking his last thoughts weren't really about his family. He thought about what mom and dad might be doing, but he was more locked in onto the people that he could connect with, right? Because of his stand, he could never connect to anybody. But this journey just made him feel like he was at home. And his last mission was to figure out to relay the message, right? Of how to beat Dio. He stuck to the mission to the bitter fucking end, and he delivered. His last fucking Emerald Splash was so epic. Hits the clock and honestly saved Joseph there too. Cause when Dio was going, Shine! Joseph with Joestar! The Emerald Splash did distract Dio. Not only did it serve as a clue, save Joseph one more time. Kakyoin was a G. Rest in peace. If I were to rate Jotaro over Polnareff, Honestly, yeah. If Jotaro didn't have those moments at the end versus Dio, then I don't think so. Because Jotaro also was very low-key. And the reason that Polnareff feels like the true main character is because what kind of character Jotaro is. Nonchalant, cool, edgy, silent guy. He doesn't really have a lot of lines. And Polnareff yaps a lot. And quite often he's separated from the crew and he has his own moments and he had his own subplot with like his sister. Right? So because of what kind of character archetype Jotaro is, he didn't really have that much time to shine. He did definitely pop off here and there. And he had a lot of character development in the background quietly. Especially in one of those episodes where we were fighting against this lady, remember? with this crazy stand, right? What was happening? We were calling grandma. And Jotaro has a actual cool moment where he's trying to reassure Suzy Q. Hey, it's gonna be fine. This character has a lot of corny ass lines. But because it's delivered through such a Giga Chad, it comes off so well. He shined through the Darby the gambler scene. He truly popped off against Dio. And I think he closed it really well. He delivered his duty as the main character. He accomplished his mission as a grandson. As a son. He also, you know, his grandfather, right? The relationship between them, they were actually fun to watch, right? In the beginning, kind of started off harsh, but later on, they started to believe in each other. Jotaro was definitely the coolest Joestar that I've experienced. But you know who my favorite Stardust Crusader is? It's Muhammad fucking Avdol, bro. I love Muhammad Avdol. I don't know why. Why? Because he's so epic, his voice acting's epic. Whenever he says, magician's dead, and then Shangri-La Frontier comes out. He's also, on paper, one of the deadliest Stardust Crusaders. He defeated Jotaro. He did. He defeated Polnareff. He did. Every one of Dio's employees had his priority on Avdol. Remember Jay Guile pulling up with fucking, you know, with fucking a whole horse, and they're like, yo, thank God we took out Avdol first. Everybody glazed Avdol. He was also a hype fortune teller, and the streets of Kaido actually knew that. Remember the one guy that knew about Avdol? The way that Avdol faked his death and came back, that was actually such a fun little, you know, catchphrase. Okay, sure, he has a new catchphrase now. Avdol was just so righteous. He was so honorable. He was so powerful. He was so epic. And his final moments, what was it? I believe that a human being truly shows their selves in the face of death. Everyone can act tough and say all this shit, but when you're facing death, everybody becomes a fake demon. What did Avdol say before going to the mansion? One last pose he does. Polnareff, Iggy. Whatever happens in the mansion, we need to prioritize our own safety. If I'm in danger, I can't promise I can save you. And if you're in danger, you should take care of yourself too. And then what happened? Vanilla Ice is ready to kill everybody in one fell sweep. Avdol, Polnareff, Iggy. Polnareff, Iggy, watch out! That is his true nature. A man of courage, a man of righteousness, a man of honor. Till the bitter fucking end, he sacrifices himself for others. God, dude, this character is so fucking peak. And then Araki had the balls to bring him back in episode 1 of Steel Ball Run as whatever other Avdol, fucking Avdol, and killed him immediately, bro. That's fucked up. Let it be known, Araki killed the token black person twice in this show. I want you to understand that. Now, I understand he's Egyptian. Yeah. But it's so funny to think that Avdol serves his role as a token black person and Araki killed him twice. I'm on to you, Araki. Yeah, thrice honestly, if you count fucking Steel Ball Run. I feel like it's just a community reference meme though. And finally, I have to have a tear for fucking Dio, bro. I honestly have to glaze him. I do. And it's fucking Dio and Zawardo. No matter how much of a coward he was, no matter how much of a lesbian, he became the cream lipstick after he absorbed Joseph's blood. What the hell is going on in Joseph's blood, bro? Oh, I should have made that joke. Remember when Joseph turned into a girl cross-dressing with tequila? That's it. That's what Dio drank, bro. Dio drank that cross-dressing tequila blood. And then he turned into a fucking lesbian. Ah, god damn it. I should have made that fucking joke. Now it's coming to me now. Whatever. I think that Dio truly was a peak villain. He's not righteous. He's not honorable. He is absolute scum that will do whatever it takes to further his ambitions. Yet he's so compelling. Because he's so cool, he's so charming. He's so sexy looking and his power's so sick. The pettiness is really funny. The idea of him using Zawardo on Polnareff, putting him back a couple steps onto the stairway whenever Polnareff walked up, to then go back to the top of the stairway, resume time and say, "Ho, what's wrong, Polnareff? Why are you walking backwards?" That's fucking hilarious. He's a really funny character the more you think about it. And this has been many generations a grudge match happening between the Joestars and Dio Brando. But no longer is he Dio Brando in part 3. He gets rid of the Brando last name as he merges with Jonathan Joestar's body and becomes Dio in all caps. And he hid in the mansion in the darkness, quietly healing as he's reading a book and talking about the philosophy of what it means to live. And what was his meaning of life? A peace of mind, which he uses to persuade other people into just listen to him and to fall to his charms. And it worked on everybody, right? Except Avdol. I'm telling you, bro, Avdol fucking glazed. Avdol straight up was able to run away and get away from Dio. And dude, this is when Dio had fucking Zawardo, bro. He could have stopped Avdol from jumping out the window and placed him back like what he did with Polnareff stairs. Nah, Avdol got away, bro. He's fucking insane. Dio, road roller da. Muda the Zawardo Tokyo Tomere. Like the time stop ability, the special effect, bzz, he truly is an iconic villain. The walk he does down the street to Cairo. He's got his outfit on, telling Senator Phillips, drive. So fucking epic. Being so cautious with Jotaro, the moment that Jotaro moves his finger, Dio's like, oh, throwing the knives, turning into a lesbian. Dio was fun. And I'm kind of sad that like, he's done. The centuries and centuries of feud has finally come to an end with this generation of the Joestar, and Jotaro takes him out as Dio realizes, wait a minute, your stand actually is the same type as mine? What the fuck are you talking about? I think Dio got robbed. This dude had the power to stop time and he lost. How do you lose that? Genuinely, how do you fucking lose that? You had everything going for you. He could have killed them all in the mansion too. If he simply didn't fucking ore farm in the coffin with Nukesaku, remember him? We made Nukesaku fucking walk up to the coffin to open. He goes, Zawardo, and puts him in the fucking coffin and he could have killed them all, bro, but he didn't. And it goes to show that no matter how many powers he gets, no matter how hard he tries to be cautious, even trying to humble himself and not be prideful, his hubris gets the better of him. And I talked about this in Phantom Blood. He's very aware of his arrogance. And he respects the Joestar so much. But when he ascends as a vampire, all that kind of goes out the window. The arrogance part, right? Rather than, like, the Dio that wasn't a vampire was like, I need to lock the fuck in, bro. My hubris and pride is my biggest weakness. Yet when he ascends to a vampire, he says, haha, I transcended humanity. No longer do I have to care about such limitations of humans. But it turns out, yes, you do. And even when he's being schizo and hid in the fucking mansion for 40-something fucking episodes, and got his time stop ability to 5 seconds, 9 seconds, 11 seconds with Joseph's blood, dude, it didn't fucking matter. Jotaro wins. And you know what? Fuck it, I'm doing it. How do you spell his name? Muhammad Abdul. Yep. I'm putting him up there, bro. I think he actually might be my favorite character. The glaze is crazy. the glaze is actually crazy, but the more I think about it, the more I realize this is a Dio's employee tier list. Down here, this is straight up a Dio's fucking employee tier list with random people like fucking Anne or like, you know, Holly and Susie Q and Senator Phillips, right? And then it just becomes like the top brass of Dio's employees, and then the Stardust Crusaders, and then Dio, and then Muhammad Abdul. But I would actually put him up there. The more I think about Muhammad Abdul, the content that he gave us, his death, so shocking, so abrupt. Rest in peace, my goat. You were too pure for this world, and unfortunately, good, kind people don't live long. Evil, ambitious, greedy motherfuckers like him live long. But even then, he remained pure. He remained righteous. Muhammad Abdul, my favorite fucking character in part 3, baby. I'll see you in part 4.